in the northeast metro of the Twin Cities. So here's what started. We saw a few clips there to start us off, but here's what started. The background on this is another agency in Anoka County tried to stop this vehicle. It took off on them. They discontinued the pursuit, but then you can see this driver, they're not the smartest at getting away from the police because they're going very slow now on the freeway. And I believe the Anoka 911 communication center was getting lots of calls about this driver. Now we have Lino Lakes following them. That Lino Lakes police squad there, they might have their backlights on, their traffic advisor to warn drivers about this, but they've smartly decided to leave their front lights off because we know once we turn on the front lights, they're going to take off and it's going to get dangerous. Well, then suddenly they do this. I'll show it to you again. My gosh, I cannot believe there's not a crash there. Great job to the driver. I think they moved their car a few feet or inches to the right to avoid a collision. And now we're on the freeway and going, I don't know, 20 miles an hour. The Lino Lake squad had to go off to the next exit. So they're going to try to catch up to this car, but they've got to go down to the next exit to catch up. And now they're just going 20 miles an hour, maybe 15 in the left lane. Getting tracked on camera. So in Minnesota, this is the Regional Transportation Management Center. It's a collaborative project, as far as I know, between State Patrol and Department of Transportation. It's at a co-located facility where they use hundreds of cameras across the metro for traffic safety purposes, like this. This is a great example. Last I knew, there were more than 650 cameras as a part of their system. If you are ever in a crash and you need the video, make sure you request it quickly. I don't think they save the video for very long. It's a matter of a few days unless it's something very severe. But if you're in a fender bender and you need the video, request it right away. Don't wait. You can go to their website, Google it. You'll be able to find a form to submit to request their video. They may have a bit of a backlog. Just be patient. Okay, so we're still going, I don't know, 15, 20, 25 miles per hour. Very, giving these drivers a lot to deal with. Some pretty close calls there. So Lino Lakes, they had to go north a few miles. I don't know if it's more than a mile. On I-35W, this far north, it can be several miles before you get to an exit or a turnaround for law enforcement. But what's crazy is they then did another illegal U-turn on the freeway and started going, now it looks like maybe they're going 10 miles an hour in that right lane. Thankfully, it's daytime. If this were at night, their car would have totally been blasted by another vehicle by now. It's daytime, so at least there's a chance for you to see this as a driver. We're kind of just waiting, holding our breath. In the background, Lino Lakes is responding. Wow. County deputies are responding. Other agencies are trying to get officers available and clearing and available to come, and state troopers are responding. So there's a lot that's happening in the background. The communications from the Anoka County Communication Center, as well as communications from State Patrol. They were very busy during this time, and these officers, troopers are frantically responding, but it simply takes time, wow, to drive there. And sure, if you're that Lino Lake squad that was originally following them and you know that they're going to pull this crazy left-hand turn out of nowhere or U-turn, you would have done things differently, but you don't know that ahead of time. Not trying to apologize, but just put yourself in the situation about what you know at the time as an officer in order to kind of judge their decisions. I mention that not just because it's a good standard to live by, but it's also a legal standard. When we judge officers legally, we make a decision based off what they knew at the time that they made a decision. My gosh. Okay, so you can see the Lino Lake squad is at the back. I'm pretty sure this is Lino Lakes. If I'm wrong, please let me know. So they're at the back of that line of cars. So they said, you know what, last time we tried to play it cool, we were trying to play it discreet. This time we're definitely going to turn on lights and sirens, try to get this person to pull over. Hopefully they don't take off on us. And our backup squad has arrived. Lino Lakes is pretty small. They might only have 2 officers on right now. I don't know for certain, but it's a pretty small department in a pretty small city. Now, I don't know what this car on the left, in the left lane is doing. Right side on our screen, but they're in the left lane. They're passing the police. I mean, you know, wait just a moment to see what's going on before you start doing that. Maybe. I'd be careful doing that. Okay, so now we've got the other squad out there blocking the lane. And there was some discussion on the radio about like a rolling roadblock that they were considering. Again, I'd be a little cautious passing here. They've got their lights on. Please be patient as a driver. Give them a moment. Okay. So a lot of people are wondering, why don't you pit them? Just keep in mind a local agency, a municipal agency, like a city agency, they're less likely to be pit certified. And there are also policy considerations. You know that another agency started this pursuit. You may not know the reason for the original pursuit. Maybe right now, all we have are traffic offenses on them, right? So these officers are thinking about, according to my policy, if I only have traffic offenses on them and they're staying below the speed limit, does my department's policy even allow for a pit to occur in that situation? Now, I don't know the specifics of their policy, but that's, I think, that's what I would guess is some of the hesitation, right? Well, they're going slow. Maybe we can take a wait and see approach a little bit at this point. It's a little bit more controlled. And as we get closer, the moment you've all been waiting for, I know some of you watching this, you've been hoping for that pit this whole time. So I think one of those squads was pit certified. They started to take the lead there. But note, now we have a wrong way chase, right? So you're just thinking about what's going through these officers' minds, the situations, what they're thinking through when it comes to doing these pits, because now they've kind of spun them around. Now they're going the wrong way. Thankfully, this car was just begging to be pitted. They've had enough time to stop it. And here goes our foot bail. When you're running from the police, you don't have to bring your bottle of water with you. You can leave it behind. There you go. There, he left it there. He littered. Maybe we can add that as a charge, littering with the water bottle. I will say this, he's a much better runner than he is a driver. Pretty good camera work here. Keep in mind, sometimes you will see there's some latency that can occur with these cameras. So when they're being controlled at the RTMC center, there can be some latency. And these are PTZ cameras, so sometimes the motors can be a little bit slow in turning. So that combined with latency, it's easy as an operator to miss some of the action. But here you can see they're just dragging right with them. This guy was eventually apprehended off camera, but you probably already knew that. Please like and subscribe. I just want to say there was no way this guy was going to get away. No way. But you could tell that probably from the first few minutes of watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Share this video. Leave a comment. We try to read every single comment we get.